some odd years, and kind of tell us about the scope of your business now.
I am from a little town called Mansfield. I don't know if you guys know where that's at. Mancy, you know, the famous the prison. That's what we're famous for. We're actually in Ashland. That's what my office is. Very industrial town. We lost General Motors. We lost the steel mill. It wasn't just real estate that suffered. I was a third generation auto worker. I worked in a trade. I was skilled trades, believe it or not. I worked coveralls. I turned wrenches. I climbed in and out of machines. I was a robot girl and I absolutely loved it. I made about $95,000 a year. I had great benefits. I had a 401k. And just like the housing industry in 08, done. I no longer had my 12% match on my 401k. I didn't have benefits where I could go to the doctor for $3. I didn't have any of that. You know, I had, thank God, a husband that was willing to take care of me and allowed me to use a displaced worker grant to go back to college. And at 34, was I 34, 35 years old, I went back to college and I got a degree. My bachelor's in business administration. It's executive management with a finance focus. I'd always wanted to be a small business owner. And the big idea I had was that the reason small business owners fail is because of lack of education. So to your point, Dom, I am a lifetime learner and I feel like education is the key to success. Ryan and I struggled through 08, 09. We managed to keep our house, we managed to keep everything afloat. I decided that I needed to get a job after the displaced worker grants wore out, after the unemployment worked out. I stayed in school full time. I finished my bachelor's. I became a substitute mail carrier because, you know, why not, right?
Get your steps in, right?
and it actually, it's a beautiful thing because my team covers Huron County, Ashland County, Wayne County, Richland County, and Crawford County. And I spent so much time carrying substitute mail. I have been on every doorstep in all of these counties, and no one had a more intimate experience with these mailboxes and in these communities than I did. So when someone's like, "Are you local?" I'm like, "Girl, I've been on your mail. I've opened your mailbox, okay? I can tell you what your bill collector is saying."
I know what those unmarked boxes are.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So when they're like, "How local are you?" I'm like, "What do you want to know? What street do you live on?" And that 3 or 4 years of carrying mail and working my way through college and kids and everything else, I was like, okay, this prepared me for where I am now. And it's like, you know, there's always a reason for everything. There's a season for everything, and there's a lesson to be learned. Ryan decided after we got through all this that he wanted to change careers as well because neither one of us want to work in factories anymore. So as he took care of me when I was unemployed, I was like, oh yeah, I can handle this. I'll take care of you. I had this brilliant idea. I was in another factory. I was managing third shift, and I was like, you can go to school, because he was going to clinicals because he was a physical therapy assistant. And I was like, oh yeah, I got you. I'm going to get my real estate license, and I'm going to sell houses during the day, and I'm going to work in this factory third shift at night. And I can sell enough houses that I can cover what we're missing on your salary. It'll be okay. It'll be good, right? You know, we can do this. So I spent from April until November working both jobs. And bless Ryan's heart, he was in clinicals, and I'm telling you what, we had teenagers. Our house was wild. And I finally reached a point where I had enough in my pipeline and enough confidence that I was like, I can do this. And we sat down and talked, and at the time I was at another factory, and I was $65,000, $70,000 a year, benefits, 401k, husbands in clinicals and not making any money, but we're almost there. And I was like, I'm gonna quit. I want to quit this guaranteed income, and I just want to go full bore into real estate. And he's like, I believe in you. Okay. So we were all in. Like, you know, there's that Viking that stormed the shores. You guys know the story about burned boats. Are you familiar? This guy decided he was going to take over this land, and he took his entire Viking army, and he's like, as soon as we hit this shore, I want you guys to burn the boats because we're not turning around. We're either going to survive and we're going to win, or we're done. And we literally burned the boats. It was like, okay, we're all in, because if you only allow yourself one opportunity, and that's either I have to succeed, or I have to succeed, or I have to succeed, you'll find a way. Right. And I found a way, and I found that I was having so much fun that, like, I bullied my best friend into getting her license, because I was like, this is a good time, you're gonna love it, you gotta get your license. And you know, Mark asked her once, he's like, why did you pick Keller Williams? She's like, I didn't pick anything. I didn't have a choice. I just went where Tracy was, because she convinced me to get my license and help me. So, and she's our lead buyer's agent, and she quit her other full-time job. She's in full-time. I burned her boots too. It's okay. It's good. Fast forward through all the chaos and all the madness, we started a team in 2019.
You got in 2017?
2017 I got in, yes. The end of 2018, Mr. Medina convinced me to see things his way. 2019 I started KW, we started a team, and we started working on the processes.
Just give us a flyby, and not that all of life is numbers, but the year before you joined up to today, and kind of where you'll finish this year at from a growth standpoint.
Okay, so my first full-time year in real estate, I had been blue collar my entire life. That's all I knew. I knew that on Fridays I got a paycheck. So I had a family, I had a husband, I had everybody depending on me. My goal was to make sure I still got a paycheck every week. So that means that, 4 or 5 houses a month, I needed to put 4 or 5 houses a month in contract. My first full-time year, I sold 64 houses all by myself. 8.4 million. Burned boats. That second year, we started a team. We were at 14 million, and I think we ended up like somewhere between 90 to 98. We didn't quite make 100 transactions. Last year, we did a little over 17 million, and it was like 120-ish transactions? 121? 131.
Ryan's the numbers guy.
Yeah, and this year we're at 180 closed and 25 million, and we're on pace to do 35.
How about that, huh? So, March of 2020, when we're all kind of standing, and I signed a contract up at Stonegate Title March 16th. It was your guys' first day wearing gloves and masks. Like, is this how we do this? You wouldn't have anticipated if I would have, said, hey, what are you going to do over the course of the next 18 months based upon what you know today? You'd be like, I'd probably be happy to just be afloat and still in this industry. Here
I
you
don't
are.
float. I burn the boat.
That's right. There's no floating in the Jones household. Let's start or transition. When you found out everything was happening, you already had a team at this point. You were in a conversation with someone whose name I've heard, though I've not personally met.
Yeah.
Tell us that story, because I think that transitions well into how you tackle the
And it's really fun. I will name drop. I know some of you guys know Barb Wilson. If you've ever sold anything in Medina County.
I've never met Mark Wilson, but I've read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. She's one of like the 10 agents that gets a lot of time in that book.
So, little known fact, my graduating class was 52 students. I had one of the biggest classes to go through, Lucas, okay? Barb Wilson went to school with my parents. Her parents had passed away. She'd lost her mom. And it's hour 10, hour and 15 minutes from Medina, and she didn't feel like she could represent her parents' home and her siblings. So she asked me to list her mother's home. Standing on the shoulders of giants, I was like, holy crap. Barb Wilson wants me to sell her parents, her family home. I'm like, okay. So I met her at the house. Her brother Tom was there, who's friends with my parents. I'm like, this is cool. They like me. I got a good rapport. we're standing in the kitchen deciding how we're gonna list this home, and all of a sudden Barb's phone starts blowing up, and I'm like, something's not good here. My phone starts blowing up, and we're like, oh boy. DeWine just said we're shutting down at midnight. She looks at me and she's like, well, honey, I don't know what we're doing, but get your cell phone out, get pictures of this entire house, and get it in the MLS before midnight. We'll figure it out tomorrow.
Wow.
I had 2 words for her.
Love you, baby.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. She's been through several, like she's got market share in Medina, like she's been through it. And I was like, okay, I have one of what I consider someone that's a giant in the business right here, right now, and she's telling her assistant, she's telling her agents, we're gonna figure it out. I'm like, okay. So my agents are texting, I'm like, it's fine, we're gonna figure it out. Because that's what she said, so. She's been successful a long time, that's what we're gonna do. So, you know, I got home, I did exactly what she said, I got it listed, we had no idea what was going on, and that small amount of time before they decided we were essential, I was just like, okay, what are we gonna do, what are we gonna do? And I'm already strategizing, like, what are we gonna do, what are we gonna do? The agents on my team were scared. They were scared. They canceled all their appointments, they checked out, they're like, Trace, I can't. Okay, this is my team, we have bills, we have an office. I'm like, if you have clients that wanna see things, let me know. At the time, Ryan was still a physical therapy assistant, and I had this problem with Amazon auto ship. Thank God. And he had these Clorox wipes that he had to wipe down all his equipment with in between patients. And we had a closet full of them because I auto ship more than I should. Apparently I'm the only one with an Amazon problem because nobody else is laughing. Like, oh, is that on auto ship? Yeah. So I just made myself a survival kit. Like, I just got a kit, I put Clorox wipes in there, I put masks in there, I put booties in there, and I'm like, and I just recently got back from India and I found this wonderful thing was called WhatsApp. And you can video anybody, anytime with WhatsApp. So they're like, I don't want to go to the house, can we do a video? I'm like, do you have an iPhone? No. Do you have Facebook? No. I go, WhatsApp. What's WhatsApp? I'm like, you're about to find out. You're about to find out. And all the people, international people, they already know what WhatsApp is because they talk to all their friends, and that's how we talk to everybody in India. And I was like, it was the easiest medium to do video tours, but this lasted not more than 2 weeks, because that one up there got bored. Her boredom beat her scared.
Hard to imagine.
So for 2 weeks, I just ran triage. I called all of our clients. I didn't care if they were my clients or if they were my buyer's agent's clients or whoever. They were my team's clients, and I was like, hey, still showing houses, how you feeling? We just ran triage. Like, are you okay? Do you want to take a break? Let us know what you need. And we were just there for them in whatever capacity they needed us to be there. And they're like, I said, I'm essential, dude. Let's go. Let's go. Well, aren't you afraid? I'm like, it doesn't matter. How afraid are you? You need a mask? What do you need? I got it covered, and I had my little, Ryan has this box that he put Velcro strips on the bottom of it and put it on the back of my hatchback. That way when I'm driving, it's not flying everywhere. So I'm like, I got this little box. Like, there's no cops out, there's no speed limit. I'm like, let's roll, let's roll. It was the first time in my real estate career I was on time to all my appointments. There's no speed limit. They weren't pulling anybody over. I'm like, cops aren't out, this is the time. Let's go. So
more essential than they thought at the time.
Exactly. And with my team, like, I can't ever judge someone's trauma or measure their response to something like this. My response, I don't know what flight is. I don't have that. Like, I was born a fighter. Like, I'm like, let's go. Like, I get excited. Like, chaos pumps me up. I'm like, I like a challenge. It's just my jam. So I'm like, let's go. But my team is not necessarily like that. That's okay. That's okay. I modeled the behavior. I got out there and I put the work in. And then when my team woke up and they were ready to go, I already had a plan for them. Like, there was no shame, there was no help me, there was no more martyring, there was none of that, which he'll tell you I like to be a hero, but I do, it's fair. Linda Carter and I have the same birthday. They're both born on July 28th, and if you guys, younger ones don't know who Linda Carter is, she's Wonder Woman. Yeah, when I found out we had the same birthday, I was like, yeah, it's the only thing my mom would let me watch during the day when I was little.
So the first couple of weeks were panic and triage and
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, and before long we come out of that. Okay, people are buying houses.
Yeah.
They probably were doing that more quickly in your community than in some other communities.
Very rural, so lucky for us, they didn't stay home, and we were selling a lot of houses.
So I'm curious, you know, if what Cliff projected is true, and even more so. Say it's not 12 to 14%. Say the Fed comes out, hey, we're bumping rates, and we're going to see inflation north of 20%, something that most agents haven't experienced in their career. How would the principles that you learned in a very different market 18 months ago apply to how you lead, how you focus, how you spend your time with your clients? That's not on the list.
No, he's just throwing that one out. This is one you didn't prepare for, Tracy. It's real simple, you guys. No matter what market we're in, there's people that need to buy, sell, and move. Every day people die, they get divorced, they get promoted, they get fired, and those people have to sell houses. And the majority of the people are not like me, they're not burning the boats. And when I hear, oh my God, the market's slowing down, oh no, I'm like, yeah, get out of my way, because I'll sell all your houses too. Like, I get fired up. When I hear people talking about, oh, they're scared of the market, they're afraid, like, I get excited, because that's just more for me. Like, there's no reason to be afraid. If there's going to be a foreclosure avalanche, be prepared. Like, I've been negotiating short sales. Believe it or not, there are some in this market. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'll take the extra work. Why? Because eventually there's going to be a short sale. And people need to know how to do it. And 6 months from now, when everybody's just, as the blue collar people call it, they're taking the gravy, I'm doing the work. I have my foreclosure and short sale specialist. I added that designation to my license. There's no foreclosures right now. We're doing a ton of BPOs. Why are we doing a ton of BPOs? I wonder. Be prepared no matter what. Be prepared no matter what. Be willing to put the work in. And I would say one of the biggest keys to my personal success, and even my team, because it's our value that we all are hard working. We all work hard. And for me, being blue collar, being a third generation auto worker, never knew anything different. My alarm goes off at 5 o'clock. Guess what, people? I get up. I
And
walk
she
my
texts
dog.
me about 12 minutes later, many mornings.
But, we're out of bed, we're drinking our coffee, we're getting ready for the day, because, by the time the sun comes up, it's time to go to work. I know there's a lot of people in this profession, they're rolling out of bed at 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, and guess what? I'm already talking to the clients that they were supposed to follow up with.
Tracy and I were just talking about an amazing opportunity that's come to her team. You've heard the phrase, luck is where opportunity meets preparation. And I would add to that, say, well, success in business is where luck, or where opportunity meets preparation meets tenacity. It's not just I'm prepared and I know my stuff, I'm getting after it.
Yeah.
And people see that, and the success that you and your team are having are testament to that. I love, not to oversimplify what we've heard from both Dominic and Tracy, but I think regardless of where we've been market-wise and where we're going market-wise, knowing your stuff, being the true local economist of choice, that your people say, hey, he knows what he's talking about, and that gives me some confidence in the decision I'm making. That transcends market. That's always applicable and always a sword worth sharpening. And similarly, I'm getting up and I'm getting after it. Whether the market's dropping or the market's climbing, there's opportunity there, and your team's found that. And it's no accident. It's not the right place, right time. We're grinding overtime. So I'm proud to be in business and have a front row seat to the work that you guys, and we got the Jones team and much of the Jones team in the front row here for what you guys are accomplishing. Any questions, quick for Tracy? Jessica?
So I have one. So the first year you were in real estate, you sold 64 homes without ever being in real estate before. And I get you're driven and you're hustler, and it's so inspiring to me right now, but what did you do? Like, can you give us some specifics that you did that your competition was not doing to allow you to sell that many homes?
I answered the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I returned the phone calls, I returned the text messages, and honestly, I can't quote stats or tell you what Wall Street's doing or any of that crap. I don't care, I don't know. I know, there's somebody for everybody, and that's what's
I just wanted to say, but won't you answer quicker if you text? Like, I'll leave the message, but for a quicker response, let me just text you.
Yeah, and you know what, that's okay too.
That is a joke.
Because I allow, and that's exactly what my voicemail says. You want me to play it for you?
What's his?
I allow my clients that opportunity. That's exactly what my voicemail says.
I just want.
I must have hit the hater button when you called.
I did like double.
But my value proposition, honestly, is not the statistics, is not, I'm not an expert in anything. I'm the source of the source. I want to know how this transaction and your interaction with me is going to improve the quality of your life. If I can't improve the quality of my clients' lives, I'm not interested. If I can't improve the quality of my team's life, then it's something that I'm not going to. My big why is to make an impact, to make a meaningful impact, not just in the lives of my clients, but in the lives of my team and the lives of the partners I work with. Like, we're colleagues, we're in this together, you know. Appraisers are so beat up right now, and there's so little of them, and of course we're all waiting on appraisals, but has anybody ever thought about how that appraiser feels with all of us just, you know, more, they can only do so much. So rather than being adversarial with them, why don't we try being kind to them? You know, my team, our value proposition, we are solution seekers and problem solvers. We want to improve the quality of the lives of everyone, not just us. It's not just about the money. It's not just about the statistics. It's about creating meaningful relationships, and people come back. I've only been in this business 4 years, but I can tell you there's people that I've worked with that I've already sold them 2-3 houses. They keep coming back to me, and they call me, not because I'm trying to be transactional, but because I'm trying to create a relationship.
And solve the problems along the way. That's a big focus, not just tenacity, but everyone's got problems, every situation has problems, and that's a part of your team as well, is let's get after them. When many people would give up on the deal, you guys said, let's roll up our sleeves.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Awesome, well, let's give a hand to Tracy for